Oh, I'm so lost in my 20s. All this wellness slop is all over YouTube. You see it all the time. And YouTube audiences are pretty good because their attention span isn't as fried. Some of them even put the shit on their TV and have it play in the background. So it's just background noise for them. But people will just watch this content and think it's going to change their life. You know, top 10 books that changed my life forever. So there's literally a fucking whole channel devoted to videos like that. You know, you see all of these videos telling you philosophical quips. Watch this one video and you'll never doom scroll again. What are they going to tell you? Set a timer on your device, buy a flip phone, smash your old phone with a hammer. Like, you're not going to do that. Okay, you're just watching this for entertainment, and that's fine. Okay, it's nice to be relatable. It's nice to relax and watch videos sometimes. And you should definitely not click off this video because I'm a real genius, as you can tell by the favela I live in, and I totally won't fuck up while I speak extemporaneously for 20 minutes straight because I have a reason to think I need to do this in one take. I don't know. But as you can tell, I'm super successful and a fucking billionaire. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. This is a masterclass. I'm just kidding. No, this is just good stuff that I've, thought through and discussed with plenty of other young men and people who are, struggling, finding their way in their 20s. And I feel that you can probably relate to some of the things I'm going to say. And I feel that I have practical advice that cuts away some of the primary bullshit that you probably think that you need or you think that you need to do. And I think this is true for most people. When I'm talking about finding your path, it's not a matter of, time constraint. The time constraint is real, but you probably still have free time. It's more concern of energy and mental clarity, focus, and actually utilizing the free time that you do have. But no doubt, I recognize that you probably work a job, whatever form that takes. I don't know if I need to censor that word. The word job is scary for some people. But you probably work a job. You probably have to commute to the job. You probably want to hang out with your, friends or spend time with a loved one. You probably want to meal prep at home unless you just DoorDash everything and put it on Klarna. I don't know. I'm assuming you have time constraints. But the primary issue preventing you from making changes in your life and learning new skills is that you don't have the mental clarity and the ability to focus. You don't have the energy to work and to use that productively. It's not a matter of time that limits even the most busy people. It's a matter of mental clarity and energy because you're probably fucking exhausted. So you know that you want to do more than you're currently doing. You have some vision of your life that's different somehow. You have some skills you want to learn. There's a business you want to start. That's especially true for me. It's hard when nobody's holding your hand through the whole thing. You're not trying to be incompetent, but if nobody's keeping you accountable, at least nobody's there to see you fail, but nobody's helping you to get back up. Nobody's helping you by showing you just how easy it is to get done. And so things seem much harder. It takes exponentially more work to start changing, especially when you're in a routine and you're comfortable. You've heard this parable about how if a person had to walk to a store and the store was 2 miles away, then they would just drive. But if it's only half a mile away, then they'd walk. Conveniently, they'd end up getting to the store quicker that's further away just because they drove. If you're not sufficiently burdened, you probably won't start taking the necessary actions to start changing. And that's generally true for most people. Unless your house is full of roaches and black mold, you're probably not going to fucking leave. If it's just, bad enough that you can tolerate it, but not disgusting enough that you want to leave, you'll stay where you are forever. So you have to create change through willpower alone, even if you're exhausted, even if you have time constraints, even if you have issues with mental clarity. I'll talk about practical advice with how you can do that, but for now, I'm going to discuss more of the pitfalls I see with people and some of the issues that I see in their life. And this is something that I've struggled with constantly in college. And being directly out of college, I've seen it. The inaction, the loss of motivation, the lack of clarity for what I really want. I feel that indecision is a part of this, and wanting more than one thing, wanting to go in multiple life paths, that's going to be just as destructive as not knowing what you want to do. Being completely directionless, that's honestly more rare. It's like you know what you want to do, just doing that cuts you off from one thing. So if I want to go to law school or I want to build a social media career, you probably can't do both. You could go to law school, get into a legal career, and then build a social media after that, but you're probably not going to run a full-time social media enterprise or something, or, make a bunch of money on social media, and also be going to law school. More than likely. Very, very rare that anybody does that. And some law schools, and especially law firms and jobs you might get, wouldn't like that. Same with med school or anything that's highly selective and competitive. So you can't really do all the things you want all at once. You can live plenty of lives within this one life that you have, but you can't do all of the things that you might want to do. Having a plan B will ruin your plan A. You've heard this little quip before. If you haven't, I guess I'm probably going to blow your mind with my amazing genius. Again, this is why I'm a successful billionaire, and I live in this favela right here. But if you're focusing too much on having redundancies, well, what if this fails? What if I fuck up? You can't think like that. You're going to put more effort into your backup plans. You're going to detract all of your effort away from focusing on what needs to be done for you to achieve your primary goal. And I see this with a lot of people, especially those who are in junior and senior year of college. My friends and then the people who I graduated with had this same issue. And I think this is common because I hear the same sentiment from, people who comment even on social media or direct message me. So I'm focusing on more than one thing. I know what I want, but, I'm forsaking the potential for success because I continue to let my bad habits ruin me and I distract all my effort away from what I need to be doing. I know I need to do it, but actually doing it is hard. And I think I can just make it by if I keep doing whatever I can do. Knowing where you can go and knowing what you can be is going to be one of the greatest things to keep you motivated so you focus on that plan A. And you can't let yourself get distracted by any pitfalls or any, shiny items that make you feel that, well, having something here and now is going to be better than some long-term success. I feel that this is something that plagues a lot of Gen Z. They're less likely to go and try for medical school or law school. Even if there's record numbers of applications for these things, they're not as willing to try because, well, I can make money right now. And I'd rather have stability and comfort right now rather than take on even more debt and have an uncertain future. And then I think that people want to do things for the wrong reasons. So again, using law school and med school for an example, but I have plenty of examples we can make. People want to be validated by others. They have some pressure or some standard to uphold themselves to. They feel buried in this standard. Like, I'm behind in life and I need to prove it to somebody. Some person out there is watching me and they're judging me because I haven't achieved as much as I can. Most people just want to do things because it'll give them some status, some feeling of achievement, like they're finally worth something, because they can't be worth something unless other people tell them that they're worth something, like they've actually achieved something because other eyes have seen it happen. This is the reason that most people want to get fit, right? They're not doing it because, wow, I feel amazing. I look amazing. I feel more confident. I enjoy getting a good night's rest. I enjoy the meals that I eat and they're healthier for me and I'll probably live longer. My blood work looks amazing. No, they don't care as much about that. They care that other people perceive them as fit and healthy. And they're like, wow, this person really has their life in control because you can tell their body's amazing. This is a reason that a lot of people end up taking steroids. It's not because the gear is, something that they need to do for competing in professional bodybuilding or something. They're not doing it because, I'm intelligently researching what I'm going to enhance my body with so I can compete at the highest level in some sport, which, by the way, you shouldn't do if you're competing against other people. But this is what performance enhancing drugs are meant for. Most people do it just because, well, I'll look jacked as fuck and I can post up on the Instagram and then people will like me because I look jacked as fuck. That's it. They want to be validated by others. Would you want to live that lifestyle? Would you want to make those health choices if you didn't have other people seeing you do it? You probably wouldn't. You'd probably make decisions only for your own betterment. It's only something that's going to add fulfillment to your life. If you can no longer flex it and try to prove something to other people, you'll see what your self-worth actually is right before your very eyes instead of just, posting it online. I feel that, most people don't want to be bodybuilders. Truly, most people who are getting into that space, the fitness influencer bodybuilding space, don't want to be influencers or bodybuilders. They want to live the luxury lifestyle that they see bodybuilders or influencers post about. And it's not really bodybuilders per se. This is more like just influencers in general. They want to have a luxurious lifestyle with a Lamborghini Urus and a $100,000 Rolex. Also, I'm going to say real quick that the people who sell the best with all the companies I'm affiliated with, they don't even try to sell. Okay, knuckleheads just buy shit from them using their code because they think that it'll make them look like Superman that they see in the fucking gym edits. They see some like super hardcore fonk gym edit and they're like, wow, this guy's muscular. I better buy whatever the fuck he's associated with because then I'm totally going to look like this guy. People will deceive themselves into believing that something they're doing is actually what they want to do. Even if it makes them unhappy, even if they feel uncomfortable and sick and tired of the whole thing, they want to do that because they have people expecting them to achieve this. Is that actually part of your life path? Is it actually what you need to do? Or have you just sunk so much time into it and now you feel like it's gotten away from you? You have to do this forever. How many people devote their life to a career just because they're too uncomfortable with changing and then they end up hating their career? It doesn't matter if that's in education or in business or in law or in medicine. People will do this. They'll stay in a space because it's productive feeling and comfortable, but it's not actually what they want to do. They don't feel as fulfilled as they should, and it tires them out all the same. That's really why a lot of people don't even try to do very difficult things or try to change out of what they're comfortable in. Because, well, I'm expected to achieve this. If I go into unknown territory, I might fail. And I'm afraid of being seen as a failure. I'm afraid of seeing myself as a failure. And if other people see me fail, well, then they'll always know that I'm a fraud, that I'm a failure, and I'm just not deserving of anything. And then I'll never make anybody proud. That's what a lot of people think. I need some status, some comfort in my life. And the only way to do that is by validating myself with a certain job so other people see that I have worth. And then I continue to work in that job even though it's miserable. I know this sounds like some wine mom wall art, and I already talked in the very beginning about how people will use these philosophical little quips to, sound deep. But this quote from C.S. Lewis goes, progress means getting nearer to the place you want to be. And if you've taken a wrong turn and you go forward, that does not get you any nearer. You can continue on a path. You can feel productive walking somewhere. But if you're walking on the wrong road, you're not going to where you need to be. And you should understand this, that if you've gone too far down this road, it's not too late to turn back. You can eventually get back to where you need to be and make progress generally in the direction that you should have been going this entire time. So how do you get your life on track? Well, you need to figure out what you want to do. I don't care what it is. You know what it is. If you don't know what it is, yes, you do. I'm sorry. You deep down know what you want to do. You'll figure it out eventually. If you don't, life will make that decision for you. First, after that, assuming you've decided what you want to do, or at least what you want to do right now, you need to become comfortable where you are. Because being too foolhardy and deciding, well, I want to be a billionaire, but I'm a fry cook right now, I'm a clerk at a gas station, you're going to make yourself extremely depressed and freak the fuck out and become neurotic because you're not where you want to be. You're going to ruminate on all the things that could be different, and it'll make you miserable. And if you're depressed and miserable, you're not going to be confident enough or happy enough or have the energy to implement the changes in your life that are necessary to help you to become what you want to be. Okay? You're not behind anybody because you're not on the same path as anybody else. It's unlikely that you are born into the right family to have the right government connections with fucking DARPA and In-Q-Tel to become a billionaire, but you can really drastically change your life within a short period of time. Sometimes you may even need to slow down. Once you're actually on the path to where you want to go, it's, fine to relax, because if you're really stubborn and you keep going on ahead, you might make more mistakes than you need to. And that can be painful if you're actually on the right path, if you're actually doing what you know you want to do. And if you're just rushing to get there, you're not even enjoying it. Appreciate the things that you have. This is going to be number 2. This is just really generic self-help advice, right? But it's true. If you are trying to go on the right path, you're going to, again, fall into this despair. Well, oh, these people have it. I see them posting about it. I don't have it. Somebody else got success and I don't have it. What do they have that I don't have? I don't know. Maybe they have a lot of things you don't have. But what are the things that you do have? You need to be comfortable where you are. You need to love what you're doing. And you have plenty of things that are going in your favor. If you have a good relationship, so many people don't have that. It's such a big issue that people pay tens of thousands of dollars to influencers online to tell them how they can look prettier so they can fucking talk to women. That they pay matchmakers to help them find someone to date. You have to appreciate all the things that are important. And especially if you're healthy, you couldn't do mostly any of the things you want to do if you weren't healthy. Because you'll never be happy if your sleep is shit or your health is terrible. You'll be focused primarily on that. Every other issue seems real until you have some health issues. And then you realize how much you should have appreciated it when your health was there. You know, suddenly you only have one issue, and it's that your health is fucked up. Now you need to know how to set goals. Well, what do you mean, Ian? I need to know how to set goals? I know how to set goals. I fucking write them in my notes app all the time. Do you? Because you see this every year with New Year's resolutioners. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? These people are like, I want to make more money. I want to get fit. I want to read more. Oh, that's cool. So you want to make more money? What the fuck does that mean? If you make $1 more than you did last year, you made more money. There you go. You achieved your goal. How much more do you want to make? Okay, what are you trying to do with it? How are you going to get that money? Real goals have to be clear and concise, actionable steps that you can implement in your life so you can make progress, not just some aqueous, amorphous idea that is floating in the ether far away. Oh, I want to get fit. Okay, well, where are you? What are you doing right now? What are you eating? How are you going to make that progress? Is your sleep shit? You're not even tracking what you eat? You don't even fucking work out? Okay, well, you're gonna have to change about 500 things before you actually get to being fit. And what does that mean to you? At what level are you fit enough to, you know, be happy with the progress you've made? You should be happy with any progress you make, but what is being fit going to mean to you? You know, people don't know what goals are. And they'll just tell themselves that I know how to set a goal. You don't. And that's why people end up buying fucking self-help books about how to set goals, because they don't. And then that book also tells them the same shit I just told you for free. And you can find the James Clear, like, you know, rundowns of Atomic Habits online for free, by the way. So if you want to go search that up, I'll throw it on the screen right now if I remember to. But real goals have actionable steps that bring you towards where you want to be. And once you figure out what a real goal is and you learn how to set a goal, you need to start tracking everything that's important. This is part 2 of the final step, track everything. What you track gets improved. If you track your sleep, you track your expenses, you track your workouts, you track your meals, every piece of food that you put in your body and you swallow into your fucking organs to digest, you have to track that. A lot of you people don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'm sorry to curse, but if you ever talk to clients, if you ever get into fitness, these people, like, they're like smacking themselves in the fucking head and they're like, oh my God, I don't know why I have bruises on my head. Well, yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You keep hurting yourself and your progress because you are too unaware of the things you're doing and you keep making very basic mistakes. If you want to achieve goals, you need data. You need to understand the situation that you find yourself in. Otherwise, you're operating blind. You know, if you were in college or in grade school and you never checked your grades or never got grades back on any of the work that you did, you know, how do you know whether you're going to pass or fail? You need data to be able to understand where you're sitting in progressing on your goals. That's why you need to set real goals, and then you need to track everything when it comes to progressing in your goals. We talked about at the beginning of the video, lower distractions. You can have some time to relax, okay? You don't need to smash your phone with a hammer. You don't need to go and get a flip phone. You know, that's good if you're extremely terminally brain rotted and you don't have any plans of ever going back on technology or social media, because, you know, once you go back from the flip phone, you're gonna get addicted again. But watching self-improvement slot videos, watching videos in general, or endlessly scrolling beyond a certain limitation, you're not gleaning value out of it. You are then losing something to it. You need to reduce those distractions, especially when you know what you want to do and you're not using it for your benefit. So you probably don't need to buy new things. That's another distraction that people have. People think, I'm getting into a new hobby. I better buy every single new thing I can so I can do this hobby. I want to start rock climbing. Let me spend $2,000 on rock climbing equipment. And then they don't even use the equipment. Well, you could just buy the bare minimum, just the shoes and a fucking harness, and just keep going. You know, you want to get into a combat sport, you want to get into mountain biking, same thing. People overspend whenever they want to start something. You know, they're spending money on courses from gurus that are going to tell them how to do it. When they know what they need to do, they just won't do it. And they think that spending the money will make the, you know, problem go away. And you definitely don't need to read a ginormous reading book list that somebody's marketing to you. this 100-book list to improve your life is probably not ultimately going to change your life as much as other things might. Okay, you're going to find more readily available changes in your life from implementing small day-to-day improvements to help optimize your time and your health than you will from forcing yourself to read 100 random books. Unless you're trying to get a fucking PhD in literature or something, reading 100 books then is probably going to be marginal compared to what you need to do. But reading the book list, spending money on random bullshit, or worst of all, spending money on a course from some guy who's going to tell you how to run a fucking business, how to make a business out of whatever you're doing. Yeah, that guy's course is totally going to help you. He's totally going to just springboard you all the way because some other fucking scammer that runs a podcast is telling you that you need to buy courses to get where they are. These people operate pyramid schemes of their own. They want more idiots entering in good faith and getting, duped out of their money. You're the bottom of the pyramid. You're someone else's method. Eliminate the distractions. You don't need to be spending time working on somebody's course and engaging in Zoom calls with people to feel productive while giving your money away. What you need to be doing is spending your time and money on your own business, your own self-improvement. You don't need to spend your time and money on buying every single new little gimmick and fad and everything that's marketed to you. You need to spend your time and money on improving yourself.